Recording. Perfect. All right, recording in progress. Here we go with our first session for the new year. So I see Win's here. Happy New Year, Win, and everyone else who's going to be watching the recording. Hopefully you've had a good start to the year, that you're feeling nicely motivated, inspired, and excited to see what 2022 has in store for you. Planting those seeds of kind of like inspiration, of love, of happiness, and of peace. So for this year, or at least for this month, we're going to continue with our Tuesday evening class. It's going to be at 6 p.m. every week, except for the last week in January, where I'll do it at 5 o'clock. I'm going to try and keep most of the sessions going forward in this year, either to a Tuesday evening class or a Wednesday evening class, just depending on my study schedule. And for the month, I'll either then try and stick to it being 6 p.m. If I can't, then I'll make it a little earlier on that given day. So that's just to keep you posted. So kind of keeping Tuesdays or Wednesdays free, but this month, all of them will be on Tuesdays. They'll all be at 6 o'clock, except the last Tuesday of this month, which will be at 5 o'clock. And remember that I'll be recording each of the sessions. So even if you can't join live, just schedule in a time, an hour where you're able to do the recording, because it'll really be helpful just to keep in the momentum and the rhythm going of at least having a guided yoga practice each week. It really does help kind of like our progress, and as well as just keeping us in tune and relaxed and in rhythm. So if you haven't got a time scheduled for yoga for you to do a class, get that in your diary and see if you can stick with it for this year. I'm sure it's going to be a really great habit to build onto. And then for those who are in Cape Town, down in the southern suburbs, the studio is starting up again with most of the classes next week. So if anyone is wanting like live in-person classes, there's going to be a Monday evening class, Tuesday morning class, Friday morning class, and Sunday morning class with a host of different teachers. And hopefully over the year, we'll build those up with a few more classes, just depending on everyone's schedule and timeline. So a couple of announcements. A reminder that I've got my yoga retreat happening in March when I visit. It's kind of a retreat that we do each year with the studio teachers. We all teach a session, a class, a workshop, and this time we're going to Fynbos Retreat Center. It's not too far out of Cape Town, out in kind of Wellington, just a little bit out kind of further than that area. So if you're keen to join, be sure to message me and find out more. A lot of that is in our newsletters. And then I'll also be letting you know of the in-person kind of classes and workshops that I'll be hosting when I'm down in March. So that's something to keep your eyes on or open for. And then for those who are active on Facebook, I do a Facebook Live every Saturday morning at 8:30 in the morning. And it's called Cards and Conversations. So I use my beautiful mandala cards and kind of like pull a couple to see what it brings for the week ahead. It's quite a fun thing. If you haven't seen the latest one, I did one for New Year's. Go onto the Yoga Awakening Africa Facebook page and check that out. It's a really lovely and really positive way to start the year as well. So that's Cards and Conversation on a Saturday morning. And then the last reminder before we get cracking with our yoga is that my Shifting from Chaos to Rhythm program, I've kind of coming to the end with the pilot group that we started now in November, the first part of that 3-part series. The next section is going to be starting in March. So it's going to be kind of like the second part to the pilot. So if that sounds like something that you're keen to join, where you're wanting to work towards kind of like towards better health and a better lifestyle, we're using the habits of Ayurveda and yoga and habit evolution. The and you want to be in a program for a year long to really allow transformation to happen, then let me know and we can get cracking. So I see Carter is in his couch, in his fully relaxed, zoned mode already. He is he's clearly enjoyed that. We had a lovely walk around the farm, and I think he might be a little pooped. So he's going to join us this evening. So let's get straight into it. Today, like I mentioned on our WhatsApp group, it's all about reflection. Our class is going to be all about reflection. So we're going to take a kind of look at where we are now, where we've come, where we've been, and kind of where we're wanting to go with our yoga. Nice and introspective. It's going to be a nice quiet class. And I really look forward to doing that with you. All right. So with all those announcements out of the way for the year, or for the start of the year, we can now get ourselves comfortable. So I invite you to sit in whichever way works for you. If you need to sit on a couple of blocks, you can do so. If you feel you want to just sit comfortably on the mat, go ahead. Allow the sitting bones to sink down. Close the eyes. And just observe your breath. Notice it as it flows in. And notice it as it flows out. Slow and steady. You'll probably find that with each breath that you're observing, that you're watching, kind of this sharpness or the jaggedness of that breath starts to smooth, and you should notice that the exhalations become slower and smoother and longer. And as those exhalations become slow, smoother and longer, the same happens with the inhalation. It's like the inhalation is a little bit more purposeful, a little more vibrant, a little bit more filling. And just noticing the play between the inhalation and the exhalation, that pulsation. Just reflecting back for a moment into the past as to before you used to practice yoga even. And if there was any awareness of your breath at that point in your life. And if you can even remember maybe to the first couple of yoga sessions, how you slowly became accustomed to following the breath in and out, and how working with allowing the abdomen to relax and to fill the lungs and to allow the belly to expand on the inhalations, and with the exhalations, how there was a slight contraction and an emptying. And for most of us, when we started our yoga practice, that belly breathing, that inhalation and exhalation, took a little bit of time. Maybe just noticing how in the present moment that comes so much more easily. Maybe it needs to be done with a bit of awareness. Maybe sometimes we still slip into our old habits, ways of being. But just noticing how it's come to a space, or come to a time where it's almost automatic. It's like you've automated that way of breathing. And then just maybe taking a moment to and reflect into the future, looking into the future and how you'd like your breathing to evolve in the future. What does that look like in a year's time or a couple of years' time? Does it look like your breath becoming slower, longer and deeper, more easeful with time? Does it maybe mean that in those times of stress or anxiety, when there's that anxiousness around that, you're able to step back and you're able to observe the breath with more ease and clarity? How is it that you'd like your breath to assist you in the future? Just putting that intention out there. And so like I was saying in our group, this is going to be a really quiet, reflective session this evening. We're focusing on the present, the past, and the future. And we're going to do this with a couple of our postures as well. Just taking stock. So for now, take 3 more slow, deep breaths here. A breath in the present, a breath for the past, and a breath for the future. And after those slow, three slow, mindful breaths, move into a few neck releases. So on an exhalation, you can draw the chin into the throat, tilting the head down, feel release through the back of the neck. And inhaling, bringing the head back to neutral. Do that twice more. Observing how the neck feels. Inhaling, bringing the head back to the center and move straight into shoulder circles. So as you inhale, take the shoulders up and back. Exhaling down and around. And again, observing how those shoulders feel as you work into 3 circles one way and then 3 circles the other way. Super. Placing the right fingertips on the mat beside you. Inhale, bring that left arm up. And as you exhale, leaning over to the right. And just stay here. Holding the posture easily. Don't feel that you need to strain or push or force. And notice how the body feels in this position right now. Maybe take another breath and take a moment to think of how the body felt, how it's felt in the past when you did a side stretch. Has it always been something that has been easy, comfortable, enjoyable? Has there been a time when it has been a bit strenuous? Was it easier in the past? Just observing. Noticing whatever comes to the forefront of your mind without judgment. It's quite interesting, funny sometimes to notice, observe what comes. We try to rationalize things. We're going to try and stay away from rationalizing today. We're just going to allow whatever arises to arise without judgment. And then while we're here for another few breaths, maybe just having a think about how would you like this posture to feel in this coming year? Is it that you're wanting to feel a sense of lightness, openness? Is it that you're wanting to feel a sense of length or deepness with it? Inhaling back to the center, exhale, release. We do the same thing on the other side. So as you inhale, reaching that right arm up, and as you exhale, leaning over to the left. And just taking a moment to observe how it feels right now. Can you soften the jaw? Can you allow both sitting bones to be even on the ground or the support you're sitting in? And how did this posture feel in the past? We've all done a side stretch. It may not be exactly like this, but some form of side stretching. Did the body enjoy it? Was it able to go deeper, or was it able to not go as deep? Maybe there was a shoulder injury and you weren't able to take the arm up. Just noticing where you were at with this posture in the past. And maybe observing or noticing an intention as to where you would like this posture to kind of ease into or move towards in the upcoming year. Without being attached to the outcome. Just maybe observing, noticing. And then when you're ready on an inhalation, coming back again, exhaling, releasing, and take it back into shoulder circles. Noticing how the shoulders, the chest, the sides of the rib cage feel now after having worked with that side stretch. 3 rounds in one direction and then change direction. 3 rounds the other way. Super. And release. You can stay on your support for the cobbler, or if you prefer to come off it, you can. I'll move back a little. So with the cobbler, we'll start off with a butterfly, allowing the knees to flap up and down for a moment, just warming up. So we haven't done too much movement with the body. It is very warm here. I'm not sure what it's like in Cape Town or elsewhere around the world. But just bringing a little bit of movement to the body and then holding the posture. So you may want to walk the feet closer towards you or walk your buttocks closer towards your feet. You may want to rest the hands into your knees, hold onto your ankles, or wrap your hands around your feet. Closing the eyes, going deep within with this posture. And notice how you feel right now. Noticing how the body feels. Is there a sense of ease and comfort with the posture? If there's not, how do you need to adjust or adapt so that it can be more comfortable? Maybe that you have to lift the knees a little or take the feet a little further away from you. Maybe it means stretching one leg straight and only working on one side. Adapt and adjust. You don't ever want to feel pain or discomfort. Working with the body as to where you are right now in the present moment. And then however you're holding the posture, maybe just observing and noticing how you've done the posture in the past. Maybe there's been an evolution. Maybe you started with your knees right up under your chin, and with time and with years gone by, you've released into the hips, and it's allowed the knees to or the hips to open, allowing your knees to come closer to the mat. Maybe there's been an injury and you've had to use support under a knee or two in the past. Maybe it's moved from feeling open and free and flexible, where you've been able to be flat on the mat, to something that's a little bit more contained, something that's a little bit more structured. Thinking back to how this posture's been for you in the past. And then release that thought, and for the next couple of breaths, just think of how you'd like this posture to evolve, how you'd like to feel. Not necessarily how it looks like, how it's going to look like, but how do you want to feel when you're in this posture in the future going forward? Do you want to feel a sense of balance and equanimity? Do you want to feel a sense of openness, a sense of lightness? Do you want to feel a sense of support? And what word feeling fills you when you think of the Cobbler, Apanasana, and the future? Just noticing what feeling arises, again, without allowing the mind to get too busy and judgmental. Present, past, and future of the Cobbler. And as you exhale, bring your knees together. Give them a lovely, lovely, lovely squeeze. And release. Right, we're going to bring a little bit of movement into our body with Chakravargasana the Cat Stretch. So for the cat stretch, you can come onto all fours. Move that dog hoof out the way. So you're going to have the knees underneath your hips, hip width apart. Hands underneath the shoulders, shoulder width apart. Fingers nice and widely spread. Inner aspects of your elbows facing in towards each other. On the inhalation, allow the abdomen to relax, allow the chest to open, gazing towards the front of your mat. And as you exhale, rounding your spine, so you're tucking under your tailbone, tucking under your chin, tucking the head in, engaging the abdominals. Inhale, relaxing the abdomen, and opening up. And continue with moving into your cat stretch. Noticing how your spine is feeling with this movement. The cat stretch is always such a lovely release. Working slowly and mindfully so they feel that you can allow the weight to be even through both hands. So fingers are really nice and widely spread, and you can feel that you're taking the weight into the palms of the hands. If the wrists take strain, the hands go a little bit further forward, especially if they're feeling a little bit achy. And if you feel that the wrists really take strain, then you make fists of your hands. So again, you're adapting, you're adjusting your cat posture this morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you're doing the posture of the class, so that it suits you. You're pressing down through the shins and the top of the feet so that there's a grounding through the back of the body. Often we forget about our legs and we focus on just the spine, but really feel that you can focus through the hands, the shins, and the top of the feet. And again, maybe thinking back to when you started your yoga practice and you started doing the cat stretch, and how difficult it was to combine the breath, the exhalation with grounding the spine, and the inhalation with hollowing the spine, and how long it took you to get into this kind of free movement of the spine, moving from like that really rigid state of the spine into being more fluid and movable, motionable. I think I'm making up a lot of words tonight. The creativity in me coming out. That's it. And then maybe just thinking about how you would like to feel in this posture going forward in this year. Do you want to experience more freedom again, more lightness? Do you want to experience a sense of more grounding with posture, more stability? And to release, way to release either into the frog or the child's pose, whichever works for you. If sitting back and neither the frog nor the child's pose feel comfortable, then just sit up in Vajrasana and use that posture instead. So you've got three options: the frog, the child's pose, or Vajrasana sitting back on your heels. And find the comfortable position for you this evening. It may mean making fists of your hands to support the forehead. It may mean having the hands out in front of you. We're going to be here for a while, so make sure that you are as comfortable as you possibly can be. And in whichever of those three postures you've chosen to be in, notice how you feel right now. What do you need to adjust so that you can be just 10% more comfortable, 1% more comfortable? It might just mean moving an elbow forwards a little. It might mean moving a knee in and out, or an ankle, angling that in a specific direction. And then take a moment to think back into the past as to when you've done this posture in the past and how you felt maybe doing it for the first time. Was there discomfort through the feet or the ankles when you did it? Did you maybe need to use support under the knees or the buttocks? Or was it maybe really, really comfortable if you started yoga years ago and at the moment you maybe have a little bit of an injury that you're needing to work around? Just thinking back into the past. Not getting hung up about it, but just acknowledging where you were and where you are now. And with that knowledge, that awareness, so that you can take a deep breath in and out and let it go. And then how is it that you want to feel in this posture in the future? What sensation, what feeling arises when you think of the posture, the frog, the child pose, Vajrasana, whichever posture you're in? Maybe you want to feel a sense of joy, maybe a sense of release or a sense of peace. Maybe you want to feel a sense of connection. Maybe there's a sense of intuition, inner wisdom that you would like to work with this year in the future. Again, take another breath in and out. And as you release that, slowly uncurl and bring the neck in hand up last. There's adapting, adjusting to where you're at right now. Lean back if you need to. And release. It's so lovely that he is so relaxed and so quiet. He absolutely loves yoga. Great. All right. So we're going to move into Adolescent, downward facing dog. If the classic version isn't for you, just go lean against a windowsill, a tabletop, doing a half a downward dog. Come out of it, go back into it when you feel you need to. Work with it in a way that feels comfortable for you right now. So, from all fours, from our cat stretch position, feel that you can have the hands in a correct position, middle fingers facing forward, fingers nicely spread. Take a nice slow breath in. You can tuck under your toes as you do that. And on an exhalation, when you're ready, you're going to lift the buttocks, extend back and through, and really feel that you can lengthen through the spine. Let the head relax. If you haven't been in a downward dog for a while, it might feel a little strange, and you may just need to move dynamically, taking a breath or two as you come down onto your knees, and then taking yourself back up again. So work with it at your pace. You may feel that you want to cycle the legs a little, noticing how you feel right now in the present moment as you work with your downward dog. And then take a breath or two. And take a moment to think back into the past and how this posture has felt in the past to you. Maybe you really used to enjoy it and work deeply into it. There was a sense of openness through the front and the back. Maybe it's changed a little. Maybe again an injury or two, maybe it have needed you to adapt the posture in a way. Maybe the body was super, super tight and you had to have those knees really bent, and you're now able to adjust and work a little further with straight legs. So again, just thinking back into the past as to how the posture felt and worked for you. Remember that you're never forcing, straining, going further than you can. So that means you need a break to come down. You can come down. You can always go back into the posture when you're ready. Listening to your body, Just take a moment to feel how you would like this posture to feel in the upcoming year. So not what you would like it to look like, not that you'd like to maybe have straighter leg, a straighter spine, a stronger arms or shoulders, but how do you want to feel? Do you want to be able to feel the sensation of the energy moving from your hands up from the earth, up through you and down into your legs, or from the energy from the earth up your feet and into your legs and then down your arms? Do you want to feel a sense of stability or lightness? How is it that you want your posture to feel? Maybe a sense of ease or comfort in it. And then release that awareness, and when you're ready, you're just going to walk your hands towards your feet, and you're going to hang in a floppy, floppy forward bend. Soft wrists, soft hands. If you need to release the wrists in any way, you can do so. And then uncurl, bringing the neck and head up last. If you need to lean back for a moment, go ahead and do so. And then bring yourself back to the center. Great. Now, shaking out the hands and the fingers or the wrists. If you need to shake out the legs, you can do that. While we're standing here, we'll work into a little bit of a sequence, working from a forward bend into a squat. It's a really nice sequence to open up into the back of the legs and at the same time to strengthen the thighs. Coming into a comfortable standing position. So that may mean feet together, or it may mean that your feet need to be hip width apart. I enjoy hip width apart, but everyone is different. So that you can spread your toes, trying to see the mat between each of your toes. And again, maybe this is something that you've had to really work with in your practice of yoga to get that spreading of the toes. I know that when we start up on our toes, to try and spread them is difficult. And I know in our classes, we often used to massage our toes, bringing our fingers in between our toes to create that space. So you might even notice by just standing here that things have changed with time and that there is that space between the toes now. Closing the eyes for a moment, allow yourself to ground, to settle down into the earth. The earth is there to support you. Know that you don't need to hold yourself up, that you can actually allow that earth to support you. So it's like as you release into the earth is just sending that energy up into you, holding you stable and steady. Such a wonderful sensation. Right, let's play with that a little. On the inhalation, drawing the arms forwards and up. On the exhalation, we're extending our torso forwards and down. Bend your knees as much as you need to so that you can keep the spine straight, head in line with your arms, bringing your arms all the way down and down to the feet. Draw the chin in so you're looking through your legs. Then from there, we're going to drop the buttocks as much as we can. Extend the arms forwards. Feel that the chest is lifted, the spine is long. The thighs are strong, press down through the feet and then come all the way up. And as you exhale, release the arms up to the sides and down. We do that twice more, just noticing how the body feels right now with this simple little sequence. Exhaling as we come forwards and down. Dropping the buttocks, inhaling, coming up. It might seem easeful and comfortable. It might seem a little challenging, might be somewhere in between. Once more. Inhaling, coming back up. Exhale, release. And then taking a moment here Taking the awareness into the past, inhaling, taking the arms up and taking a moment to acknowledge how the sequence has felt in the past. Maybe it's been easier, maybe it's been more challenging. Inhaling as you come up. Exhale as you release. Let's do it another time. This time, as you exhale, stay in your forward bend and hold it there. So allow the fingers to be in line with your toes. Allow the spine to be long and the chin to be drawn in. Bend the knees as much as you need so that you can create as much length through the spine as possible. Apanasana, your forward bend. How has this posture felt in the past? Has it always been a little bit of a challenging posture for you? Has it been a posture that you've just been able to fold into and to relax and to really release? Or have your hamstrings always maybe given you a little bit of a challenge in here? Has it been one of those that have, when the teacher said, going into a forward bend, that it's your mind's gone, oh no. Uttanasana, your forward bend in the past, how has it made you feel? Has it been a posture that you've played with or through different emotions, enjoyable, not enjoyable? And then take a moment to let that go completely and just think of how you would like this posture to feel in the year ahead. What would you like to gain from this posture? Maybe there's a sense, a feeling of accomplishment. Maybe there's a feeling, a sense of beauty or ease, of release. Whatever word, whatever feeling, emotion arises, notice it. And then release, bending the knees, inhaling as you come all the way up. And exhaling, letting go. Soften the knees a little, standing in Namaste, the pose of attention. Easy standing pose. Allowing the energy to settle, the breath to settle. Softness in the knees, softness in the shoulders, length through the spine and the neck. Maybe noticing how you're able to stand a little taller, but without strain or without force. Lovely. And then releasing. I love how kind of this time of night moving from like brightness to, what is it, dusk, dawn, dusk, with the sun sitting there. It's so lovely and pink. So kind of getting ready for the evening and the birds stop and the crickets kind of start. So lovely. So while I enjoy my nature change of from day to night, we're going to transition into the tree. Virksasana. You're going to ground down through your right foot. And you're going to allow your left leg to come up. And with all the variations that are possible for this pose, choose the one that feels right for you today. Might mean foot in the ankle, might be foot against the shin, might be up in the inner thigh, might mean holding onto a wall or a door today. And how are you feeling? Are you feeling beautifully balanced, stable, and steady? Or is it maybe the opposite? And how has this posture made you feel in the past? Has it been a posture that's brought you joy? Is it one that you've been able to laugh at? Is it something that you used to get frustrated about and that you're now able to laugh at or about or with? How has your awareness, your mind shifted? Often we kind of, when we start yoga, we often very much in that negative space, or I can't do this, or why would my body do this, or my body's so bad, I have no balance. And as we practice yoga, we notice that that kind of mindset, that kind of talk to Saacks to ease, I can't say it disappears, but it kind of fizzles out a little. We become a lot more positive, a lot more loving and accepting of ourselves and where we are. And maybe just observing where you'd like this posture to take you in the future. How would you like to feel? Are you wanting to be more accepting, more understanding, filled with more love, deeper gratitude? What feeling arises? And then slowly release, releasing the arms, and releasing the leg. You may want to shake it out and stand for a moment. So we're going to do obviously the same practice on the other leg in a moment. And we're going to go through the same questions again. And we're going to see if the right and the left side maybe come up with different feelings or sensations. Often the opposite sides of our bodies have different stories to tell. So let's be inquisitive and see what arises. When you're ready, you're going to ground through your left leg. Is there an adaptation you need to do on the side? Is this leg maybe not feeling as strong? Do you maybe need to be on an ankle here, or the shin, or the inner thigh? I'm going to be on my ankle on this side. My knee's not too happy. I think I may have tweaked it on the walk. So just observing where you need to be in the present moment with the posture. Maybe something happened today that you need to adapt for. Again, there's no wrong way of doing posture. We don't want to look like a picture in a book or on the internet that we see, or a person in the class. We want the posture to be ours, uniquely ours. And take a moment to think back of the past and how this posture has made you feel. Maybe this has always been the side that has been comfortable and easy and balanced. Or maybe you recall that this is the side that you often tumble out of the posture. And has there been a sense of frustration, or have you been able to laugh at yourself about it? Has there been a feeling of acceptance? Maybe we would like to have had that feeling of acceptance, but let's be honest. Take a breath or two and release all thoughts or feelings, and then take a moment and think of how you'd like to feel in this posture in the future. Notice what arises. Maybe on this side there, you're looking more for a sense of stability, support, grounding. Wanting lightness, freedom, ease. You still breathe. And then release, bringing the knee forwards, releasing it, shaking it out. And again, standing for a moment, comfortably, easily. Noticing how the right side of the body feels compared to the left. Are you able to feel a sense of balance through the front of the body and the back of the body? Especially if you rock back and forth a little. Can you find that midpoint, that comfortable midpoint? How do you feel when you stand tall? And do you notice that the breath is able to move in all directions now? You can open the channels, create more space for the prana, the life force to flow through. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And we're going to come down onto our backs. We're going to do a few rounds of Apanasana, and then we're going to slip into relaxation. So if you want to put on jerseys, get blankets ready, pillows, eye bags, dim the lights. I'm going to dim the lights along as well already. There we go. You can do all of that. Before we go into relaxation, we'll do a few rounds of Apanasana. I love to have a soft pillow or a folded up towel under my head. My neck loves the support. So you might feel that you need the same, or you might feel that you actually feel more comfortable being completely flat on the mat. Hands resting lightly onto the knees. Inhale as the arms straighten. Exhale as the elbows bend. Few slow rounds of the Apanasana, the energy freeing posture. And again, this is the last time we're going to be doing a posture and just noticing how we feel right now in the present moment as we do it. Maybe there's a sense of freedom and space and lightness around the sacrum and the pelvis and the hips. And then maybe taking a moment to think back into the past and maybe how challenging this posture was to do in your very first yoga class, where again you had to try and combine a movement with the breath. And do I inhale when I draw the knees to me or push them away from me? And do you remember all of that confusion? And it all seems so complicated the first time you did yoga compared to now, where your body just automatically knows what it's wanting to do. So kind of enjoying the journey and the growth that you've experienced from the first time you've done yoga to now. And then taking a moment to notice how you'd like to feel doing this posture in future. Are you wanting more freedom, more lightness, more space, more expansion? It's always lovely when we have an intention, we have direction, and the body knows where it wants to go, where it needs to go. It's kind of got a roadmap. Doing one more round, and then from there, you can hug the knees to your chest. You can give them a good squeeze. If you need to rock from side to side, go ahead and do so. And then you can make yourself comfortable for relaxation. I'm going to come to the screen so I can talk there, but you are welcome to lie back, to put your covers over, bolster under your knees, pillow under your head, eye bag over you, anything that you're needing. And as you get yourself comfortable and ready for relaxation, you're going to start off by allowing your head to loll a little from side to side, releasing any tension from the back of the neck and the head, and then bringing your head back to the center. Making tight fists of your hands, reaching your hands down towards your feet. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And as you exhale, relax and release. Soft arms, soft hands, relaxed fingers. Flex the feet, tighten the thighs, tighten the buttocks, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And as you exhale, relax and release, letting go. Inhale deeply and allow your belly to rise. And exhale, sigh the air out. And again, inhale deeply. And sigh it out. And last time, inhale. Breathe into your whole body. Hold the breath for a moment. Feel a little bit of tension building. And then let the breath go. And then notice how the natural breath just returns. Flowing in and out. Up and down. Noticing how you're able to relax the physical body. Each exhalation relaxing the feet and the legs. Relaxing the hips and the pelvis. Relaxing the spine and the back. The abdomen and the chest. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the arms, the elbows, the wrists, the hands, and each of the fingers. Each exhalation relaxing a little further, a little bit more. Relaxing the throat and the neck. Face and the head. On the inhalation, there's a beautiful sense of expansion. And on the exhalation, there's a wonderful feeling of release, of letting go. Keep following the pulsation of the breath in and out. Noticing how you're being breathed by the universe and how the universe is breathing you. How you're breathing the universe and how the two happen simultaneously. Notice the sense of ease and release and comfort you're in. And then again, taking a moment to think back of the very first time you experienced a yoga nidra, a relaxation practice, and how it may have seemed very disjointed, strange, unnatural, maybe a little peculiar. And how, as you started doing the practice, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, it became such a natural part of your yoga practice. Something that your body started craving, not just the body, but the mind and the spirit as well. How nurturing and supportive the practice is. And then take a moment to take your awareness into the future, and how would you like your yoga nidra practice to evolve? How would you like it to feel? Whatever thoughts, whatever feelings arise, let them arise. Just noting. I'll let you be in that space for a little longer. And then just allow those feelings, those sensations to release, to melt away. You're just even noticing that those feelings are already within you. All you need to do is tap into them. They're right there. That inner wisdom is right there. For now, start to breathe a little deeper. Becoming aware of the rise and the fall of your chest. Allow the thumbs to move along the fingertips, waking up your hands, and wiggle your toes, waking up your feet. Are you ready? You can stretch your arms out behind you and you can yawn if you want to. And then you can stretch right arm and left leg, left arm and right leg. Arms one way, legs the other. Take a nice deep breath in. And then let it go. When you're ready, hug your knees to your chest. Give them a good squeeze. If you need to rock a little from side to side, please go ahead and do so. Eventually, you just roll all the way onto your right side. When you're there, you take a deep breath in and out. Place the left hand in front of your chest. Push into that hand. Come all the way up into a seated position. And from that seated position, you can bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center into Anjali Mudra. And take a moment to acknowledge 3 things that you're grateful for today. And then bowing your head, acknowledging the amazing, beautiful, and vibrant being that you are. Namaste. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Namaste, everyone. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening or day whenever you're doing this session. And Win, thank you so much for being here. Always lovely to see you. I don't know if you can see Carter in the back. I know it's very hard to see black dog on black couch, but he is literally like yoga nidra position with paws and legs and arms all stretched out. It is his absolute favorite yoga.
I can see him, and he just looks like he's really enjoyed the session just as much as I.
Lovely one. Have a lovely evening. I'm just going to actually stop recording.